Well, welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. I don't usually go out on Saturdays because there's too many wankers out, but today was the best of the non-heat days. It's going to warm up to about 88 today, but that's tolerable. At least it's not 98. Today we're going to the Battle of Musgrove Mill. It's the closest town is Clinton, South Carolina, or Cross Anchor. It's a little village. It's in present-day Lawrence County, which around here we call it. It's on the edge of the upstate. The upstate is anchored by Greenville, South Carolina. Columbia is called in the Midlands, and Charleston is called the Low Country, which is fitting, appropriate. And this battle took place on August 19th, 1780. About 200 Patriot militia on horseback rode to Musgrove Mill because it was an important trading hub and source of grain for the entire area. So it made it strategically valuable. I'm not wearing my cooling vest, but I brought it along because I know it's going to get hot, so I'm going to dip it in the Enoree River. I used to call it Enoree, but I've learned it's Enoree River, which was where the battle was fought. The British were on one side of the river and the Patriots were on the other. This is the furthest I've gone on my trusty steed since I got it back from the shop, and it's 84 miles one way. But my first stop, therefore, will be the Quick Trip in Clinton, just off the interstate, to get some non-ethanol gas. And then I'll go on up to the Musgrove Mill historic site. Well, here we are on the outskirts of Winsboro again. And as I said last time, on the way to Fish Dam Ford. This was the winter headquarters of General Cornwallis in 1780. And this is also the land of stone houses. There's one right there. Well, I stopped because I thought I was going to go a different route. And I'm on the same route as I took to Fish Dam Ford, which is coming up shortly, so I just wanted to check my GPS, and she's got me going a different way, but I'll get there. So I'm on 72 West, South Carolina 72 West, and the Battle of Fish Dam Ford. The marker is right up here on the right, and that was my last episode. Well, I'm in the little town of Whitmire. They have a Family Dollar and a Dollar General. I'm on the right path. There's the sign for Musgrove Mill. My first stop was the QT. I took 1.4 gallons, and I have gone about 84 miles. So that's not too bad. I'll have to figure that out. 50 miles a gallon or so. Well, here's the first marker. On August 19th, 1780, Colonel James Williams' Little River Regiment, along with units commanded by Colonels Elijah Clark and Isaac Shelby, who was from Tennessee, met British and Loyalist forces commanded by Colonel Alexander Innes at Musgrove Mill. The American Patriots were greatly outnumbered, but defeated the Loyalists decisively by strategy and maneuver. 60 British troops and Loyalists were killed, with 70 captured. 70! This Patriot victory provided needed encouragement for the American cause following the defeat of General Gates and his Patriot command at Camden only 3 days previous. More on that in a moment. We'll drive up to the visitor center, but not much to see here. Oop. Here's the visitor center. Oh, they're getting the Amazon Prime delivery. I don't know if I can get by there. Well, let's talk about the battle a little bit. It was on the morning of August 19th, 1780, as I said. And Patriot forces consisted of Georgians under Elijah Clark, South Carolinians under Colonel James Williams, and a group of over mountain men from present-day Tennessee commanded by Isaac Shelby. Now, this happened 2 days after the Patriots' terrible defeat at Camden, and on the same day, or the day after, as the loss at Fishing Creek, which we talked about earlier in an earlier episode. But communications being what they were in 1780, the Patriots at Musgrove Mill probably were not even aware of those losses before this engagement. Patriot scouts clashed with the Loyalist patrol and then fell back. Then a friendly farmer told them that, hey, contrary to their initial intelligence, the Tory garrison had been reinforced and now consisted of about 500, not 200. So now outnumbered and having lost the element of surprise, the Patriots formed up on a ridge overlooking the road to the mill and threw up some makeshift defensive breastworks. Okay, we've turned off of 56. I'm on Horseshoe Falls Road, and I'm headed to the Horseshoe Falls, obviously, but the hiking trail of the Patriot side, which is called the Battlefield Trail. It's 2.5 miles down this little road. Oh, that might have been it. There's the falls. You know, I can go back to the parking area. Since it says admission required, I'll probably pony up $3. Oh, this is nice. They have a cement walkway for you. So we'll walk down here to the falls. And it says this is not a swimming area, but and there's people swimming. Some of the local scenery is pretty nice here. And I guess this is part of the Enoree River. The dry riverbed over there. So this is on the battlefield trail. It says a band of brothers. And what it's talking about is the only fighting force remaining was militia, unorganized volunteer armies, troops varied in strength. 200 Patriots who fought at Musgrove Mill on August 19, 1780 were all militiamen, and the hit-and-run tactics used in the battle were the trademark of militias in the South Carolina backcountry. Patriots came up with this plan. They would send a small detachment under the command of Captain Inman to lure the enemy into an ambush. And here comes another marker and a bench. Americans in British uniform. Many of the men who went into battle for the British were provincial soldiers. They were regular troops, meaning they were trained and supplied by the British. They differed from the regular British soldiers, however, in the provincial soldiers were American colonists. And there were at least 3 different provincial units that fought in the battle. South Carolina Royalists, 3rd Battalion of New Jersey, and the 1st Battalion, Delancey's Brigade of New York Royalists. All had been involved in action in the Southern Campaign prior to Musgrove Mill. Now, so on this plan that the Patriots came up with, Inman crossed a ford over the Enoree River and engaged Loyalists before falling back to the main Patriot line. The Tories took the bait and pursued him. True to their king. You know, in Cornwallis and General Clinton worked under the assumption that a lot of the backcountry people would join the British cause. Well, that turned out not to be the case. So the Patriots were told to hold their fire until they could, quote-unquote, distinguish the buttons on the clothes of the redcoats. This is like in Bunker Hill when they said, do not fire until you see the whites of their eyes. So anyway, when the Loyalists were within 70 yards, which is pretty close, the Patriots opened fire with a devastating volley. But the Loyalists kept their nerve and fixed bayonets and kept advancing on the Patriots' right flank, which was defended by Shelby's Tennessee men. Since they had no bayonets themselves to defend with, they fell back. So Colonel Clark, head of the Georgia contingent, meanwhile, attacked the Loyalists' right flank. At around the same time, one of Shelby's men shot and wounded the British commander, Colonel Ennis. The over-the-mountain men saw this and rallied, you know how those Tennessee mountain men are, and returned to the battle. Then the Loyalists began to falter and withdrew. The Patriots then pressed the attack, and the Loyalist retreat turned into a full-fledged rout. So the battle lasted about an hour, but the British Loyalists really got the worst of it. They suffered 63 killed, 90 wounded, and 76 captured. The Patriots had only 4 killed, and 9 wounded, 0 captured. It was a decisive win by the Patriots militia. And apparently the Patriots learned about General Gates' defeat, along with the fact that the British Major Patrick Ferguson was nearby. So they quickly retreated with their prisoners and reportedly missed being caught by Major Ferguson by less than 30 minutes. And we'll talk more about Major Ferguson at the Battle of Kings Mountain, where he met his demise. My recommendation, if you're going to do this battlefield trail, is to bring mosquito repellent, because it's buggy in there. I'm headed to the barn. I'm going to take it on home. I brought my cooling evaporative vest along with me, and I dipped it into Horseshoe Falls. It's working very well now. The Google Maps has taken me a direction I don't want to go, but I'll get there eventually. I think I can make it on the tank of gas I got at the QT without having to stop again. It says that it's 83 miles. My tank holds 3.8 gallons. So if I'm getting 55 or 60 miles a gallon, I should make it easily. Famous last words. Here's a little town of Cross Anchor. Well, I don't know what road this is. I think it's Old Buncombe Road, but it's entertaining. It's no traffic, not a lot of potholes. Pretty scenic. Oh, there's a pothole now. So I'm enjoying it. Nice day to be on the water. It's warm. I think I went by a sign on a church that said it was 91. It could be worse. Well, it's a good day, and thanks for coming along with me to the Battle of Musgrove Mill. I think next time we'll endeavor to hit either Blackstock's plantation, which is in the same general vicinity, or Kings Mountain. Another big Patriot victory. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for coming along.